I shouldn't have stopped. Nightmare 1. And I moved to Fox Chase, thinking it would be quiet. It's one of those places just outside the city where everything slows down. Tree-lined streets, older homes, people who've lived there their entire lives. A few weeks after I moved in, I was talking to a co-worker named Mike during lunch. He asked if I liked hiking. I said, yeah, sometimes. That's when he mentioned a trail just outside the neighborhood. Then he hesitated and said, that's where they found the boy. At first, I thought it was just another small-town ghost story. But then he said something that stuck with me. They never figured out who he was. That part was real. Back in the 1950s, a young boy was found in a cardboard box in the woods. No identification. No one claimed him. No answers. Locals still referred to him as the boy in the box. He didn't explain much. Just said locals leave things out there sometimes. Toys, stuffed animals. And that the case was never solved. Later that night, I looked it up. He wasn't exaggerating. A young boy had been found in a wooded area decades ago. No name. No one came forward. No closure. That stuck with me more than it should have. A few days later, I decided to find the trail myself. It wasn't hard. Narrow dirt path. Barely marked. It didn't look like a place people visited often. About 10 minutes in, I came across a small clearing. That's when I saw them. Toys. Old ones. A small plastic truck. A stuffed bear missing one eye. A few things half buried in the dirt like they'd been there for years. No sign explaining anything. No memorial. Just objects. Left behind. I stood there longer than I meant to. Not out of curiosity. More like I didn't feel right just turning around immediately. That's when I heard it. Something behind me. A dragging sound. Slow. Uneven. I turned quickly. Nothing. No movement in the trees. No animals. No wind strong enough to explain it. I told myself it was probably nothing and started walking back. Then I heard it again. Closer this time. And underneath it, something else. It wasn't a voice exactly. More like someone trying to form words but couldn't. A soft, broken sound. I stopped walking, and for a second, I had this feeling, like if I turned around again, something would actually be there this time. Close, too close. I didn't turn. I just kept walking, a little faster than before. I didn't stop until I reached the road. That night, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had stayed there too long, like whatever was in that clearing. Noticed. A few days later, I drove past the trail again. I don't know why, but I did. And I swear, there were more toys there than before. Some places aren't meant to be visited more than once, but in small towns, people always go back. If you're enjoying these real stories, subscribe to Nightmare Central, because the next nightmare isn't hidden in the woods. It's right on the road. Nightmare 2. I didn't plan on driving down Bray Road. I was heading back from visiting my sister, and my GPS rerouted me because of construction. It was already late, close to midnight, and I wasn't paying much attention to the road names, just following directions. The area got quieter the farther I drove. Fewer houses, longer stretches of darkness between them. Eventually, there were no houses at all, just open fields. That's when I saw the light. At first, I thought it was a porch light in the distance, but it didn't look right. Too low to the ground, too steady. As I got closer, I slowed down. There was nothing around it. No pole, no building, no person, just a small, pale light hovering a few feet above the ditch. I remember feeling confused more than scared, like my brain was trying to make it make sense. I stopped the car. I don't know why. Curiosity, I guess. As soon as I stopped, The light dimmed slightly, then it moved, not fast, just a slow shift, drifting toward the field. I opened my door without really thinking, 1 foot on the ground. The air felt colder than it should have been, and quiet, completely quiet. No insects, no wind, nothing. The light moved again, further away now, and I had this sudden, overwhelming urge to follow it. Not curiosity anymore, something else, like I needed to know where it was going. I took a step forward, then stopped. Something about the silence felt wrong, like the world had gone still on purpose. I got back in the car, closed the door, and drove. I didn't look in the mirror, not once. The next day, I told a guy at work what happened. He didn't joke about it, didn't question it. He just asked, "You stopped?" I nodded. He didn't laugh. He just said, "You got out of the car?" I nodded. He shook his head slowly. People who stop on Bray Road usually regret it. Not everything you see needs to be understood. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do is leave before something notices you back. The last nightmare is different, because this one didn't happen outside. It happened inside a house, where someone had already tried to leave. Nightmare 3. I rented the house on Circleville Road because it was cheap. That should have been my first red flag. The landlord didn't show it to me personally. He just handed me the key and said the previous tenant left in a hurry. Didn't elaborate. I didn't ask. At the time, I just needed a place. The house itself wasn't bad. Small, older, hardwood floors, narrow hallway, 2 bedrooms. The first couple weeks felt normal. Then I started noticing small things. Cabinet doors slightly open when I knew I'd closed them. Lights turned off that I didn't remember switching. Nothing obvious. Just enough to make me double-check myself. Then came the sounds. At night, soft footsteps in the hallway. Not pacing, just movement. Like someone walking slowly from one end to the other. I told myself it was the house settling. Old wood expands, contracts, normal. One night around 2 a.m. I woke up to a dragging sound. Slow, heavy, like something being pulled across the floor just outside my bedroom. I grabbed my phone and checked the hallway. Nothing there, but in the morning, I saw it. Scratches, long, thin marks across the hardwood, fresh. They hadn't been there before. I didn't move any furniture. Nothing in the house was heavy enough to leave marks like that. After that, it got worse. Drawers opening on their own. Objects not where I left them. Always subtle. Always just enough to make me question myself. Until the night I saw it. I woke up and immediately knew something was wrong. The room felt occupied. I looked toward the doorway, and there it was, a figure, standing in the hall, not moving, just watching. I couldn't make out details, no face, no features, just a shape that shouldn't have been there. It didn't move, didn't come closer, just stood there, and somehow, that made it worse. I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke up the next morning with the door slightly open. I always sleep with it closed. That same day, I started packing. When I told the landlord I was leaving, he didn't ask why, didn't argue, didn't seem surprised, just nodded, like he'd heard it before. The last thing he said before I left was, "You made it longer than most." I didn't ask what he meant. I didn't want to know. But sometimes I still think about that house and the scratches in the hallway, because they didn't look random. They looked deliberate, like something was trying to move something heavy, back and forth, over and over again. Something even scarier than this nightmare is not watching more videos from Nightmare Central. This was Nightmares of Small Towns. Sleep carefully,